by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to lead out the Saints. Last year, of course, another big one for number 9. Set the all-time passing yards mark, moving past Peyton Manning. Finished second in the MVP balloting and led the Saints to within a whisker of their first Super Bowl berth since 2010.
Ready? 95-56, 95-56. And it's just me and you. It's just me and you.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
On second down, Kamara. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brees, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Third and long now after the sack of Brees, and the Saints up against it here. Shotgun now for Brees. And he finds Cook. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 44-yard line.
Jared Cook is a guy who's been around the NFL. He's been with the Titans, the Rams, the Packers, and the last 2 years in Oakland. Now he makes a move to the Big Easy, where he pairs with Drew Brees and forms a nice little threat.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Throwing now is Brees. And Cook has it, left side. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
He led the NFL in receptions last year with 125, and for wide receiver Michael Thomas, not a surprise. That's what he expects out of himself each and every season. Finishing the top 10 in receiving yards each of his first 3 years in the league. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, first-time, first-team All-Pro in 2018, and he has tremendous hands, great moves downfield, and really, truly believes in himself. Check out his social media handle, Can't Guard Mike.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Many times as we open a game, we talk about guys who are drafted in the first round, but how about the undrafted players? In this case, safety Tashawn Gibson was made the most of his time in the NFL, becoming a starter in the league, and since 2012 has 20 interceptions, the most for undrafted players in that time frame.
Here comes the seventh play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down. Breeze to throw again. And that will be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, and he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? But a long one, and he can't connect. Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Back to throw here. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal. And
that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Breeze. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints.
I'm a player. I'm from DC, but I'm running through and sacking like a Raider. Baby, we play for keeps. You can pass me up, this is not a bye week. I'm looking for a trophy competition, looking steep. And I'm training, I've been focused, I've been bombing from the deep. I'm like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Good to hear with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like, move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me, I am up. #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a Sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Saints getting set to take over, and they will be led out by the all-time leading passer in NFL history in his 19th year now in the NFL, Drew Brees.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting. What?
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the ground, this is Kamara. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. There's Kamara trying to run for it. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. DeAndre Carter is deep for the Texans. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Texans under their 6th-year head coach, Bill O'Brien. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
On play action, they'll throw. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Come on, QB, come on.
A first down carry now for Miller. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
I have no idea where they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
Draw play. This is Miller. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
What I love about Cameron Jordan's game is that it's so varied. He can play the run so effectively. Also rushes the passer, and at times, he'll run with a receiver downfield. You name it, Cam Jordan does it, and he does it with some flair.
They'll look to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Fourth down, so the Texans dial up the number of their second-year punter, Trevor Daniel. Marcus Sherrill's deep for the Saints. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Yellow lady. Check 41. Watch twist.
Off to Thomas on the left side. No gain there on the completion. Second and 10. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
And the first pick in the 2014 NFL Draft out of South Carolina, Jadeveon Clowney, has come into his own. He's now a 3-time Pro Bowl player, and the last 2 seasons in the NFL have been his best. A combined 18.5 sacks. Speed, quickness, power, he brings it all on every snap.
Ready? 5-9. Silver. Check. Ready, check.
They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the second straight play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. And he's only able to get it up to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the 3rd down throw, and that leads to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Check, 47. Watch the slant.
Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. We're scoreless after 1. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hopkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19. That's complete once again to Hopkins. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down now, it's Miller. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. This from 36 yards out. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 27, Brees out of the backfield. That's complete to Kamara. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. From the gun, it's Brees. This is caught by Ginn. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
In his 13th NFL season now, Ted Ginn still a reliable target for Drew Brees. 787 yards in 2017. Just 5 games last year due to injuries, but he still has the wheels.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Bust through the tackle. No gain on the dump off. It's 2nd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Completion left side to Miller. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on third down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. Here's Sherrills. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Breeze, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. Throwing again on second down. Breeze, a gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Again, it's Breeze. Catch here, left side, Thomas. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Breeze again. Now Breeze lost the football.
Sack, baby! Sack, baby!
Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Breeze going to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Breeze. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half. And as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day on this. It's going to be a long day.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now back to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Returnable for Sherrills. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Here now, a look at Drew Brees in our players' spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Come on.
Off the play fake to Kamara. It's Breeze throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd and 4. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he can be a big-time playmaker for us.
Now Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
On the counter, here's Kamara. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Breeze, incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
8 yards to go.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Breeze now. And Gaines got it. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 45-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Breeze. Over the middle to Smith. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Breeze now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Breeze finding Kamara. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still
No
no
yardage.
yardage. Okay.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain. Stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Running with Kamara. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Breeze. Cook's got it. Touchdown Saints. Jared Cook 26 yards. And the Saints have taken the lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On play action, they'll throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. 2nd and 15. Throw left side taken in by Miller. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up a throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity. I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Throwing now is Breeze. And Cook has it, left side. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Breeze now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Breeze now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Mike, ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady. 55. Here we go, here we go. Wait,
Play action. Breeze. That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up?
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On the right side, this is Miller. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
He steps out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
56 the mic. 56 is the mic. Hey, defense.
2nd and 9 now. Setting up the screen for Miller. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Ready. 47. Check, 47. Yo.
He'll look to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now.
47 Mike, 47.
On 2nd down, it's Miller, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Back to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. He's back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So Breeze and the Saints down 10-7, 20 seconds to go. And they need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, yellow lady.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This is caught by Ginn. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw is Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8. Left coming, left coming.
Back to throw, Breeze. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Breeze. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
For the field goal, a 26-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. And that will knot us up at 10. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
Check, 47. Hey, let's get it.
The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. A huge play there in overtime, 45 yards. So a huge gain on the ground here puts him into a wonderful spot. And remember, of course, a touchdown wins it.
And we're in overtime, right? So you have to think defense has been out there for 4 quarters, might be a little bit tired. The attrition of the game may have led to that long run.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. About 3 yards there to the 27. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little... And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 30, the 20. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who could help us, because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.